Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. This time playing in the Skoda T50, which is the tier 9 Czech medium tank. This tank is very brutal, but before I go into the tank, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm playing on Overlord. I'm playing solo this time, and the matchmaking is really dank. Besides the tier 9 artillery, there's only 3 tier 9s on either team. So I'm just going to come into this position because sometimes you have like people YOLOing up here, and you can sometimes spot the people on the opposite little ridge line here as well. You can get some early shots off. So spot the T29 pretty early, but unfortunately can only see the side of his turret, and it wasn't for very long either, so it's probably not worth me taking a shot, getting spotted and then being wrecked. T32 pokes up and then I get spotted even though I'm in a bush. So yeah, time to move, otherwise I'll get RT'd and TD'd and all sorts of bad things. So I'm just going to try and move along around here because I can see our Comet's moving up. He's not spotting much, so I figure it's pretty safe to go in and move around over there. And we do have a pretty strong presence over here with our other tier 9 medium, D50. And there's a load of other mediums as well. So I figure we should probably go and push with the other mediums. I'm just being a bit cautious here before deciding to YOLO in. I can see the E1's been spotted. He's firing at someone else, so I feel alright just waiting here. But unfortunately the T32 can see me. I take a quick snapshot of him, and I slow down a bit to aim a little bit, and sort of fire on the move against the T32, and only managed to hit 1 out of 3 shots. But that's a bit of damage done already, and the artillery fires at me again. Or not again, but he fires a shot. I went behind that little building to stop the E1 from shooting me. The T32 is now not looking at me anymore, so I get to put a full clip into him. So that's pretty nice, and I'm just waiting for the Panther to take him out, which he does. So that's a pretty good start. We've killed the T32, which is a pretty annoying tier 8 heavy tank if he's hauled down. And now we're just going to try and look for shots on the E1. I can see he's behind the house, so I'm going to guess he's going to try and back off. And that's what he's doing. So I get to put another full clip in. So that's pretty nice. We've got 1 shot into the T32, and then we had a full clip into the T32, and then we had a full clip into the E1 now. So now I'm looking, seeing if we can find some shots into the ISU. I think he just fired then, so I was fine with going up there. I am still spotted, and the Rheinmetall shoots at me, but I managed to spot him. I think that was my spotting. And we managed to get 1 sneaky shot into him as he dives below the ridgeline. So far we're having a decent game. The clip potential in this thing is ridiculous because you can do about 980 damage or something in about 4 seconds, which is, in my opinion, kind of a little bit unbalanced. The clip potential is too high for the amount of time the enemy needs to be exposed, because by the time they actually realise that someone's shooting at them, it's too late. They've already had the 2nd shot into them, and then they can't get out of the way of the 3rd shot. So I managed to put another shot into the T29. For some reason I couldn't drive through that little vehicle there, and the T34-3 manages to take care of the T29. So now I'm just trying to flank around, trying to get some shots into the Panther and the IS. I think I'm going to focus the Panther first, just so I can get his gun out of the way. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I should take him out, and now I'm going to go for the IS. He's not even looking at me, so this is an ideal engagement for me. I see there's a load of guys behind me, so I need to get behind cover. I don't really mind taking an IS hit if I really need to, but I don't really want to be taking 3 hits from 2 IS-3s and a Ferdinand. I see our Tiger 2's struggling against these guys, so I'm just going to try and help him out. I'm going to try and kill the IS-3. I could put 2 shots into his back, but unfortunately he goes behind cover. So I put another shot into his IS-3 platoon mate. And now the Type 4 Heavy and the KV-3 are coming our way, so this is becoming a little bit awkward. The Ferdinand's turned around to try and engage us. I see the Ferdinand's fired, so now I've not got much support. So I'm basically thinking, right, I probably need to just get out of this area. That said, I do need to reset the cap as well. But unfortunately someone else does that for me. The artillery does all the resetting for us. Try and put one into the Ferdinand's front plate. And unfortunately the first shot doesn't go in. The second shot managed to go into his front drive wheel. And the third shot, the Type 4 Heavy gets in the way. And I decide, right, it's time to just get out. And obviously I take 2 massive hits from the Ferdinand and the Type 4 Heavy. So now I can't take hits from any of these guys. So I'm relying on this. Well, I don't know if I'm relying on anyone to take hits for me, because the T-34 is also on low health. You can see the KV-3, so I put 2 shots into him, and I figure I'm probably going to survive one KV-3 hit because he's not got the big gun. And I'd rather. I think I've got more chance of bouncing a KV-3 shots than the Type 4 Heavy. So I'm just chilling behind the rock. Unfortunately the KV-3 takes out our T-34-3, but then I managed to take out the KV-3. The Type 4 Heavy is tracked in place and he's not looking at me, so I can just get behind him and put my 2 remaining shots into the back. And now I'm just going to try and stick behind him, and if he tries looking at me then I can just run away. He actually fires at the 50. So now it's, I think what he's trying to do is just try and engage just me, but unfortunately he's not doing that great of a job of it, and I managed to get another shot into the Type 4 Heavy before the T54 Mod 1 manages to kill him with a shot into the side. So yeah, that was a pretty okay game, I'd say. We managed to get a load of clip damage off, which was nice. We got a bunch of like random one-shots off as well, but to really make do with the potential of this tank, you need to be doing your damage in clips rather than in just like one-shots and then reloading, because then you're just like decreasing your DPM massively. But as this was before the current patch, I think this was 9.16, the actual damage log isn't on, so I can't tell you exactly how much damage I've done until we get to the post game stats. But I'm pretty sure we've done a pretty sizable amount of damage, and although we did only pick up 2 kills, so we did damage but not really get kills. So I guess I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm happy with how the game went out. The only thing I wasn't really happy about was having to take the Type 4 hit and the Ferdinand hit to try and get away. I was hoping that maybe they'd be a little bit more defensive, but I guess they played correctly and they just went for me. But unfortunately they couldn't kill me. But yeah, let's get. I'm rambling now, so we'll probably go and have a look at the post-game stats right now. Alright, so as you can see, that was the ace tanker in the Skoda T50. Did just shy of 7,000 damage. I got the high caliber and Confederate medal for doing a lot of damage and not getting many kills. Did just under 2,000 assistance damage, which I assume is just spotting and, well, not spotting, tracking with the Type 4. I think I might have tracked the Type 4 Heavy near the end. And I'm guessing these are just spotting, because I don't recall doing actual spotting. Maybe the Rhinotaur was my spotting actually, because I didn't track him. But either way, I did a decent amount of damage and spotting damage, which is what gave me the ace. 1447 base experience, which was pretty nice, and by far and away the most damage in the game. I think the next closest guy was their Rhinotaur, by the looks of it. Yeah, it was on 2,300, which is quite a sizable difference. I fired 30 shots, 26 of which hit and 22 penetrate. The penetration on the gun is pretty decent, especially in matchmaking such as this, where we weren't facing any tier 10s and we didn't really face many heavily armoured tier 9s either. The only tank I'd probably have trouble with is the Type 4 Heavy, and he gave us his side, so I didn't really have much trouble with him either. Obviously I did almost 7,000 damage, and most of that was fairly close quarters. I did 1,300 damage, which was pretty sniped damage, which you can do, but I wouldn't recommend sniping in this tank because you're just going to get frustrated because of the autoloader. I've received 3 hits and all 3 of them penetrated. This tank has no armor. I wouldn't recommend trying to drive this like a heavy tank because it's not. It's a support tank, and then you should play it as such. I actually spotted 4 enemy vehicles, which is quite nice, and I managed to damage 11 of the 15 enemies on the enemy team, and I got 2 kills. And I travelled just under 3 kilometers, which isn't really much considering I did 7,000 damage. But you know, the game didn't last too long, just over 7 minutes. 4,342 experience with a double by the looks of it. Oh no, it's a personal reserves, so that wasn't a double. And I made just over 93,000 credits, and after the repair costs and the ammunition costs, I made 45,878 credits profit. And I think that's without spamming any gold in that game, because it was just not necessary to fire any gold there at all. But yeah, a decent game in the in the Skoda T50. I think that's the only ace tanker I managed to get in this thing, because it's got ridiculous ace tanker values. You need to get like 1,400 base experience, and that's 7k damage, which is what I got. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.